Maybe not.
We're on. All right, welcome to, what is the January 19th meeting for the Budget Committee to review the rest of the school warrants and vote on them. Before we get started, I'd like to call the meeting to order with Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, you should all have a copy of the school warrant articles in front of you, correct? Everybody has one?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good. So really what I'd like to do tonight is, now that we have the warrant articles in their final version, is just go through each one, vote on them, and then I think that's really about it for tonight. The last thing I want to do is we want to look to the February calendar and just try to pick a date to reconvene and just wrap up this year's budget session, approve all the minutes, things like that. We could either do it like the Monday after the deliberative session, and the only reason I say that is something could happen at the deliberative session where we might want to reconvene to recommend or not recommend. So if we kind of just put that as a placeholder, it would be a really quick meeting, probably all of about a half an hour, just to wrap up the minutes and move on, because then the election will happen and then it'll be the next budget season in March. So does that work for everybody? I believe that's like the first or second. Let me look. Second? Yeah. So does that work for everybody if we do Monday? Actually, it's the first.
It's the first.
Yeah, does that work? Okay. I guess we need a motion for a meeting for February 1st. Anybody want to make that motion?
7 o'clock, Dave, or 6?
We'll do 6:30.
6:30.
Yeah, we'll be done by 7
Do
probably.
we need a motion, Dave?
Do we? I guess
No,
not. I'm just
I don't
making
think
sure.
so.
Okay, good. We'll just do February 1st. I'll get with Wendy, make sure we're all good to go, that we're not stomping in on anybody else's meetings. And then that'll be it for this budget season. Okay?
Okay.
All right, so I'm just going to read the articles real quick. We're not going to vote, obviously, on Article 1 because that's just basically the positions that are available.
We should say one thing about Article 1. It is very important. If you are interested in running for any kind of position in this town, tomorrow is the filing period, is the start of the filing period, and we should just note that because there's a lot of stuff coming down, whether school or town side.
Yeah, it opens up tomorrow and it closes next Friday, correct?
Following Friday.
Following Friday.
Yes.
Okay, thank you for that commercial. All right, Article 2. Shall the school district raise and appropriate as an operating budget, not including appropriations by special warrant articles and other appropriations voted separately, the amount set forth on the budget posted with the warrant or as amended by the vote of the first session for the purposes set forth therein, totaling $16,847,926. Should this article be defeated, the default budget shall be $16,895,184, which is the same as last year with certain adjustments required by previous action of the Newmarket School District or by law, or the school board may hold one special meeting in accordance with RSA 40:13X and XVI to take up the issue of a revised operating budget only. Man, that's a lot of words for a budget. I know, I saw. Note, the warrant article operating budget does not include appropriations in any other warrant article. If passed, it is estimated that this article will result in an increase of 2 cents over the previous year's school tax rate of $17.87, which result in a new estimated tax rate of $17.89. If defeated, it is estimated that this article will result in an increase of 8 cents over the previous year's school tax rate of $17.87, which will result in a new estimated tax rate of $17.95. Can I have a motion to recommend Article 2?
Motion to recommend Article 2?
Do I have a second?
Second.
Tag, you're it. Discussion. Any? Wow, I guess we got all the discussion out last week, huh? Okay. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right. Unanimous. Article 3, shall the school district vote to approve the cost items included in the collective bargaining agreement reached between the Newmarket School Board and the Newmarket Teachers Association, which calls for the following increases in salaries and benefits at the current staffing levels over those paid in the prior fiscal year. 2016 to 2017, estimated increase $249,259. 2017 to 2018, $292,154. 2018 to 2019, $296,175. And further to raise and appropriate the sum of $249,259 for the upcoming fiscal year, such sum representing the additional costs attributable to the increase in salaries and benefits over those of the appropriation at current staffing levels. Estimated tax impact of this warrant article is 35 cents. Majority vote is required, which is 60%. Do I have a motion to recommend?
I make a motion to recommend Article number 3.
Second.
Discussion. You guys are going to be easy tonight if this is the way it's going to be. All right. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Unanimous. Article 4, shall the school district in Article 3, if Article 3 is defeated, authorize the governing body to call one special meeting at its option to address Article 3 cost items only. Do I have a motion to recommend Article 4?
I motion to recommend Article 4.
Second?
Second.
Everybody's jumping in. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Article 5, shall the school district vote to authorize the school board to convey a portion of the district's land behind the elementary school and to accept and exchange a conveyance of land to the school district of land in the same general area, all on such terms and conditions as the school board determine are in the best interest of the district. And further to authorize the school board to take any other actions necessary to carry out this vote. Tax impact is 0. Do I have a motion to recommend Article 5?
Motion to recommend Article 5.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yes, Dave.
Yeah, go ahead, Amy.
I think as Blue had pointed out at one point, the legal work cost for this, I'd like to know what the cost, what that is anticipated to be.
I don't know. Okay.
And does that come from operating budget? Because I think where I was going is Blue mentioned that there is no new tax impact, but this is from operating budget, I'm assuming, which was, I'm just interested to know how much
So do you mean
the
tax
legal
impact
work.
from just the legal or from the difference in
I'd
the
like to know what
tax
the cost
roll?
of legal
Yeah, so,
is for this purpose.
so Amy, we haven't got an actual budget yet, but being a lawyer, I can sort of talk to it a little bit. This was negotiated, the parcels 6 or 7 years ago, so all the surveying's been done.
Right.
Doucette did all that surveying. So what this would involve is a lot line adjustment, if it's approved. And, I don't know, that's maybe in the $10,000 range, I think, of legal work for that.
So, I guess my question on that one is, I know like with the town, it used to be, but then we went and got like a retainer. I mean, is our school lawyer same thing, or would this be extra costs on top of their typical legal fee, or, yeah, okay.
It'd be an extra cost. We don't have our attorneys on.
That's what I thought. I didn't think you did.
So, yeah, no, we're expecting minimal fees.
Minimal, okay.
Yeah, because a lot of this work has already been done in the years prior.
Okay.
So for the transfer and the recording and the legal work and whatever, you're expecting approximately 10,000? Is that a safe number too?
I would say they're that.
It's an estimate, and that includes.
Well, yeah.
And that includes the, that presumes there's nothing that comes up on the title searches, which would have to be updated since they were done 6 years ago. And I can't imagine anything's there, but
Okay, and those funds would come from the operating budget then? Okay. That's it.
Let me just ask one more thing.
Go ahead, Jeff.
you said that there are different size lots, right? And did we have a number for the amount that impacted the, I guess, the valuation, right? Or at least how
Yep.
the rate is calculated? I mean,
about-
would that
Yeah.
affect the tax rate? Would we put it in here?
It's 4 acres of land that's currently owned by the association.
And we're giving up 3. A
We're
little
giving-
more than 3.
Yeah, about a little more than 3 of the swampland. So there's an acre difference or so. And I haven't run the tax impact of that, so I'm not sure what that is.
Do you have any kind of ballpark?
Nope.
1 penny, 10 cents, nothing? No idea?
I really don't know, Jeff.
Okay.
I'd hate to speculate.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay. Anything else?
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
Article 6, shall the school district vote to raise and appropriate the sum of $169,610 for the purchase of property at a price not to exceed that amount at 239 South Main Street, consisting of a 2.17 acre parcel of land with a 500-plus foot common boundary abutting the elementary school to be used for the expansion of school facilities, and authorize the withdrawal of $71,400 from the expansion of school facilities capital reserve fund created for this purpose in March 1962, with the balance of $98,210 to come from general taxation. The estimated impact of this warrant article is 14 cents. Do I have a motion to recommend Article 6?
Make a motion to Article 6.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion. Amy?
I'm wondering if, okay. The change was made to raise and appropriate $169,610 for the purchase of property at a price not to exceed that amount.
I know where you're going.
When we break it down, it says authorize the withdrawal of $71,400 from the expansion of school facilities capital reserve fund with a balance of $98,210 to come from general taxation. My question, my concern is that could we add the balance of up to $98,210 in reference to if the sum of if the purchase price is less than $169,610, I'd like a little more detail in there as far as where the funds will come from. If we spend less than $169, I think it should say the withdrawal is $71,400 from the expansion fund and then up to $98,210 to make up whatever the difference is.
I see where you're
Am I making that?
I think that makes sense, Amy. I mean, there's no problem with that, because, I mean, the bargain for price is the 169,610. It's unlikely to go higher. If we were to find something in our due diligence, it would only likely go lower. So I don't think there's a problem with that.
Right, and to tie it into the language that was changed high up above in the article,
Yep.
I think
Really
that
doesn't
would,
change the warrant, just changes it to be.
it just adds up to
Clarify that.
$98,210.
That's fine.
I almost wish that was the first number that we saw, was the 98. Because you need to raise the 98, then you appropriate, the 71 to equal the 169. if that
Yeah, but
makes sense.
either way,
Right.
my concern is if the school district spends less, I would like to have it be less from
Instead of
general
spending less on
taxation.
The fund, just spend
Yep.
less on the taxation.
That's statutory language that can't be changed.
Okay.
Is that the whole thing?
Yeah, you can't change that.
There's some certain amount, but what about the up to?
They're gonna say that's some certain because that's what the taxation is on.
Okay.
Stand corrected.
Is there any, I know where Amy's going, I guess, is there any way just to clarify that at the deliberative session, that if,
Sure.
hey, if it's lower, then great, then it'll be less taxation, but we at least have to raise, with the language, what the price will be.
Sure.
Okay.
We can do that.
Okay.
That would be good.
Blue?
I figured if we discussed this, the expansion facilities capital reserve fund,
Yep.
established March 1962. Do we know what the balance is in that fund?
It'll be $8 after that's done.
Are you
Yeah,
going to close that fund?
No, there'll be roughly about $800 in that
$800.
fund. The voters are the agents.
But we can't close it this year. It would have to be expended and then
Sure.
close next
Yep.
year?
Yep.
Right? Okay.
Okay. Anything else?
I have one more question
Yeah,
that
go ahead.
occurred to me this week.
Yeah.
There was a past facilities committee meeting where one of the ideas that was floated was retiring the elementary school in favor of other facilities. Is that still on the table?
It's being considered, Jeff. We haven't made any decisions on anything. It's just one of those things that are out there for consideration. So I guess I wouldn't say that it's been eliminated. Is it unlikely? Yes.
Okay. If it did happen, would having this land make it more favorable in the market or less? Or neither?
Having a bigger piece of land would only make it more favorable, you know, having the additional space. Certainly it would, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
That's it.
Anything else?
Dave?
Yeah, go ahead.
In advance of the vote, I just wanted to let you know, I'm going to abstain on this one. I'm really feeling that I see both sides of it, and I've given it a lot of thought. I'm feeling that another purchase of land without a definite, well-thought-out plan is not the way I'm comfortable going as a steward of the public funds. So I'd like to abstain for a lack of information, and I think, again, Blue, thank you, as you articulated well in a previous meeting, we do have an expensive parking lot across the street, and whether that is the diplomatic way to say it or not, there isn't a definite plan, and I think before I can support spending on another piece of land, I'd like to have more information and more thought. So again, it's a lot of thought, and I'm not for or against, but I have to abstain on this one.
So,
If I would, and
go ahead, Mike.
and I respect your opinion, Amy. I understand where you're coming from. And as I mentioned at the last meeting, you know, we can't control when these things come up. You know, this particular piece of land was last for sale in 1923, literally, about the time the junior senior high was built originally. And so the timing is what it is. Would we like to be 6 months from now and tell you we're going to put the access road here and here are the stakes? I'd love to be able to say that, but we aren't. Problem being, if it gets purchased by somebody else and it's developed, we've kind of lost it forever and we're stuck. And the thing is, with an asset, you can always sell it, right? It's not a you know, we're not a consumable, so it's there. You know, if for some reason the school decides that they don't need it, and that would go the same for any other piece of land, then the option is always to sell it if that makes the best sense. So those are my 2 cents.
Well, the town has land. They own multiple lots of land as well, and they don't need it when they sell it, so I would assume the school would be able to do the same thing.
Okay. Anything else, guys? All right, so all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, and 1 abstention. Okay?
Dave, I'm going to abstain too. 2 abstentions.
2 abstentions. Okay. Article 7. Shall the school district vote to discontinue the construction of a new school building and renovation of existing school buildings for fire and life safety, safety code compliance, dual-purpose capital reserve fund created in 2012? Said funds with accumulated interest to date of withdrawal in the approximate amount of $3,236.53 are to be transferred to the school district's general fund surplus, recommended by the school board 5-0, and recommended, not recommended, blah, blah. The estimated tax impact of the warrant article is 0, majority vote required, 60%. Can I have a motion to recommend Article 7?
I'll make a motion to recommend Article 7.
I'll second.
Any discussion
So just in clarification, that long-winded, that is a dual-purpose fund going away. Amy?
Ooh, I wonder if you could just explain, Christine, why the remaining 3,200 has to go into general fund and not directly into another trust fund?
It doesn't have to.
Okay.
The choices that you have in the dissolve account is to transfer or to dissolve and have it go to surplus, which will ultimately reduce taxes.
Or go to yet another, however we deal with surplus, whether it's to an IT fund or whatever. I mean, something could be.
Once it goes into the surplus,
Mhm.
it's,
It's part of the total
yeah,
calculation?
because you'll see there's an
Okay.
article from surplus, so once it goes into there, then it can be funded out to another account.
Was there any discussion about moving it directly from here to the new fund that
Yes, there
it
was.
wants
The
to be
board decided
created?
not to. It would be easier for the general public to understand, just to
Correct.
resolve it because it's such minimal dollars.
Yep.
So just have it go to reduce taxes and make it nice and clean, and then to raise the other article on its own.
Got it. Thank
It'd
you.
be very long-winded to say,
Yeah.
then give an authorization to then transfer into another.
Be long-winded then?
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I got you.
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
thank you.
That's one name, like, wow. All right,
I have one quick question.
go ahead, Jeff.
Why is it approximate? Is it just, we don't know the interest?
The interest,
Okay.
the interest between now and when the account is dissolved in June 30th, it's going to keep accruing interest.
I was hoping it was that easy,
So
thank
it's
you.
not specific, because
No,
then I
that's
wouldn't
fine.
be able to move the interest that was earned, it would stay there, so that.
We'd have
A very
36 cents.
precise number,
Yeah.
and that's why I was wondering why we needed approximate if it's to the penny, but makes sense.
Okay. Anyone else? All right, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? One last warrant. Article 8, shall the school district vote to establish a capital reserve fund under the provisions of RSA 35:1 to be known as the School Construction and Renovation Capital Reserve Fund for the purpose of funding new construction and the renovation of school building, including necessary costs of architectural and engineering plans and the construction costs for additions and renovations of new facilities for the school district, and to raise and appropriate up to $150,000 to be placed in this fund, with that sum to come from any June 30th, 2016 fund balance available for transfer on July 1st, 2016, and further to name the school board as agents to expend from this fund. Estimated tax rate is, or tax impact of the warrant article is 0. Do I have a motion to recommend Article 8?
Motion to recommend Article 8.
I'll second.
Discussion.
Dave,
Blue.
what is the difference between this fund and the fund that is mentioned in Article 6, the expansion of school facilities capital reserve fund of March 1962? If we can buy land with the fund from 1962, why couldn't we use the same fund and put the 150 into that fund for architectural fees? And
I'll answer that.
I'm just worried about we're creating more funds. I know we're dissolving one, trying to anyways, and the town was really diligent in trying to get rid of all of these funds, and just want the public to be aware.
Right, one reason was because of the agents. The second reason is because of, Adam was reading it, and he was very honest. As he read it, he said he would vote no simply because of the new school and fire life and safety, knowing that he wouldn't vote for a new school, knowing that I'm sorry, I'm on the wrong one.
I understand that. No, it's more the fund that is mentioned in Article 6, expansion of school facilities capital reserve fund. If
The
we,
expansion of our facilities and not for a pool. It's highly likely that we could come across a consulting that we may need to hire, that particular article will not be able to support. But the larger part is due to the fact that in order to expend out of that account, we have to wait to March ballot to do it, because the voters.
The voters are the expen-
Yes.
okay, all righty,
And that's the
okay.
only reason, because listing the school board as the agents, they have the authority to, in a public meeting, to withdraw that money, to give authorization for us to do it. So it's immediate.
Sure.
So that's the main difference.
Okay.
But-
Thank you.
Yep.
Anything else? All right. All those in favor of Article 8, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, 11-0. And that is all the warrant articles for the school. I know it was a little crazy there at the end, guys, but I appreciate the work and the getting this all caught up for us. And I appreciate some of the honesty and the work that went into some of this and trying to do the right thing for the town as well as the school, so thank you.
Thank you all for your support.
Is there anything else that you guys have while we have them here? Are we all good with the school warrants? Okay. We'll have some signatures here, so before everybody runs out into the Arctic frozen cold, let's make sure we get signatures there. If we don't have anything else, I will take a motion to adjourn at 6:55 PM.
So moved?
Second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Meeting adjourned. Thank you, everyone.